Anyway, my dad called me up one morning and said, I think I know what's wrong with you. It's one thing to be like, I'm this, I'm that. It's another thing to be like, I'm this and that, but I don't want to be, and I don't know why I am. I can't control these feelings. So my dad calls me up and he says, I read online all these women that are having problems with their birth control. It's causing anxiety, it's causing depression, it's causing this quote unquote cloudiness of the mind. And I said, okay. And I went online and I read the link he sent me, and I just broke down crying because it was women who who were describing what I'd been feeling for 2 years, but everyone was like, God, Sarah, just get over it. Like, fuck. I had friends who, couldn't even really talk to me because I was just not myself. And anyway, so I stopped taking the birth control, and about 3-4 days later, I didn't care about my ex-boyfriend. I moved on, and all of a sudden, all these things that I want to do were now attainable, and I wasn't sleeping in my room and locking my door and taping up my windows, and I was able to live my life, and now it's an experiment. Everyone's different, and the doctors don't know anything. And so it's just a matter of trying and seeing how it works, and figuring it out for yourself. And it's probably going to take years. I went off birth control for a few months, but I felt great. I felt artistic, and I felt, independent, and my life completely changed. After 2 years of feeling like something was on my shoulders, all of a sudden within 3 days of not taking it, I felt like a different person. I felt like myself again. And I've gone on birth control so that I could sense that I was sort of feeling these feelings again, and I was aware of it, I was conscious of it, so I stopped, and I called them, and they just have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And I said, okay, well, the birth control I was on, was it a high hormone? Was it a lot of hormones in it? And they say, yeah, you were on sort of like a medium high kind of hormone. So I was like, well, I do good without hormones. I don't do good with a lot of hormones. Well, it makes sense to me to take a birth control that's a low hormone. So that's what I'm on now, and I think on myself. We'll see. But it's a game. It's a gamble, and we'll find out how it works. I guess the really terrifying thing is to think about how many women who are in power, who have positions where they can make change, who are affected by this birth control. It's so silly, but I mean, the fact that it was so debilitating to me for so many years. I wonder how many women are affected by this. And now when I talk to girls, and it's sort of like a weird subject, and people don't want to bring it up, I just want to be like, listen, I wish somebody like a doctor, had said, okay, you have all these issues, and you don't know why you have them. You shouldn't, but you can't help it. I mean, I hear that from a girl. I hear, I was acting crazy and I don't know why, and I immediately know what's wrong. But the fact that I could see a psychiatrist, I could see, I talked to many women, I talked to doctors, and they're like, I have no idea what's wrong with you. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's women who either don't know or don't want to admit, and I think it's doctors who don't want to admit that birth control is, as much good as it does, it's really dangerous, because the things it made me feel were dangerous to myself. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to exist. And so now when women mention that to me, I make sure to say something, because I think that's the problem is people aren't talking about it. Women aren't talking about it. Men don't want to admit it. But it's real. It is real.